You psych yourself up, you prepare, you visualize, you try all of the techniques that I've talked about in my previous videos, and you still can't make yourself show up to do the thing. I get it. I am a firm believer that showing up is literally the hardest part. So if you've been scheduling an important event in your life and then rescheduling or canceling or not even scheduling at all, this video is for you. Hi everyone, I am Fia Fasbinder and welcome to Fia Speaks, where I unpack the secrets to unstoppable confidence. In today's video, I'm focusing on how to get yourself to show up for the thing that you know you need to do to level up and grow. You know what it is. I know that everybody knows what that thing is. It's showing up for that. Now, there is a myth about confidence that I'm going to bust right away. We have this crazy notion that someday we'll feel confident enough to do the scary, uncomfortable, and uncertain things that we need to do to grow. Like this confidence will just suddenly show up on our doorstep like an Amazon package. But here's the hard, cold truth. It really never does. It's just not how we muster up courage and build confidence. It's not how we get that confidence to attend that meeting or join that mastermind or deliver that presentation. We get the confidence to do it by changing our mindset and recognizing that we're always going to feel afraid. And all that fear means is that we care, that we're doing something that's out of our comfort zone that we care about. And when we acknowledge that we're the kind of person that isn't okay staying stuck, isn't okay staying where we are, that has big hopes and dreams and goals that we want to accomplish, then we're really going to have the confidence to feel the fear and do it anyway. It's really that simple. I realize this sounds easy, but if it were that easy, I know, then why are so many people holding themselves back from what they know they need to do to grow? It's not easy. It's simple. It is not easy. The struggle that we all face is this fear of what might happen if we do the thing and we fail. So we just don't show up, or we don't do the dang thing. We project into the future 10 steps ahead of the event of where we are now, and we catastrophize. What if I fail? What if they hate me? What if I really have no ability to do this thing? And those fears stop us from showing up every time. Winston Churchill has a quote that I love: "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts." And it is so true. Sometimes when things really matter to us, especially for the perfectionists in the group, and I count myself as one of them, just showing up feels impossible. Getting ourselves to take that first step feels like we have concrete feet and we literally can't move. But I'm a strong believer that showing up is truly the hardest part. If we can just get ourselves to feel the fear and do it anyway, we'll put ourselves on that path to success. And I'm not by any means saying that all you have to do to succeed in life is show up for this thing. I realize that there is a lot more to success than that. But I'll tell you that 9 times out of 10, the roadblock to most of our success is not lack of talent. It's lack of courage and confidence. Now, there are countless stories of successful people who didn't start out that way, who had an ungodly amount of failures on their way to success. And most of us have heard the saying that failure is not the opposite of success, but we don't truly believe it. We think that, well, maybe that's true for that person, but that's not really true for me. Really, the difference between you and that person is confidence, is that they are putting themselves in situations that they know they need to put themselves in order to grow, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite all of the self-doubts that are coming up and rising up. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway is how we grow. Every successful person would agree that they didn't get that way by sitting on their couch and playing it safe. And for me, I always think, what's worse? Living with the regret of never having tried, or the regret of trying and failing. For me personally, and for so many I know of Moxie's clients, people that we've worked with and people that I've met along the way, people who have this strong North Star, this strong purpose, these big dreams, they're not embarrassed to dream. They're not embarrassed to fail. They will live with the regret of failing over living with the regret of not even trying. And what's worse, I mean, for me, it's very clear. If maybe you try with a little bit of persistence, grit, hustle, faith, trust, you can succeed at that thing, but you won't know unless you try. And you'll never know if you let fear of failure stop you from putting yourself out there and showing up. It honestly makes me sick to my stomach to think of all of the wasted potential of so many people that are afraid to even try. I had a client who was a NASCAR driver. She was the first woman Lamborghini driver. She was a badass. And this woman was terrified of public speaking. She was terrified to tell her story. And she had an incredible story of overcoming so much adversity, a story that I knew in my heart would move people and would help them, that they needed to hear if we could just get her to walk out onto that stage. And she was so panicked. I received probably 20 calls the night before her talk. And it happened to be my husband's birthday that night. And she was calling, I can't do it. I'm so panicked. What if they don't like it? All of the what ifs, all of that self-doubt. But she did it. She got out there and she gave the talk. And not only was she successful, not only did she crush it, but she had a line of people after the talk waiting to talk to her, telling her how much they needed to hear that message. And that to me was the definition of feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Despite all of that self-doubt and that fear of failure and that catastrophizing, she did it. She did it. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you my proven secret. Maybe it's not a secret. It's not a secret anymore, but it's my proven technique to help you show up, to help you feel the fear and do it anyway. Because I will say it again, showing up is truly the hardest part. And if you learn how to do this one thing, you'll be able to put yourself out there every time you hear those voices of doubt starting to creep in your head, or you're terrified of doing something. So maybe you got yourself to the point of signing up or registering, or you got yourself to the point of that actual event, and now you feel the concrete fear, the concrete doubt, the concrete feet of doubt and insecurity stopping you from actually going to that thing, from stopping you from actually doing the thing. This is the technique that is going to help you. The problem, and I've talked about this in a lot of my other videos, is that our brain doesn't know the difference between modern fear and ancient fear. It just knows fear. So when it starts to feel afraid, when there is a threat or something that our brain thinks is a threat, it might not actually be a threat, but our brain thinks it's a threat, has labeled it as threatening, and we have a threat response, we start to have all of those self-doubts that are so paralyzing that they stop us. Even though we know we need to feel the fear and do it anyway. We can't get to the do it anyway part. We can't get to that because we are so paralyzed by our fear. And mostly, if you take that fear a step farther, it's fear of not being liked. It's fear of rejection. And I've talked about this in other videos too, that our brain processes rejection and the pain from rejection the same as it processes actual physical pain. The same receptors in our brain activate whether it's rejection and the pain of rejection or the pain of breaking our arm. So we are literally overriding our survival instinct when we are trying to feel the fear and do it anyway. Our brain is saying, don't do it anyway, don't do it anyway. That fear is telling you you should not do this. So really, what we are doing is overriding survival instinct. So you are now halfway through my video, and I want to invite you now to subscribe to my channel. If I have earned your trust, if you realize that this is going to be a valuable channel for you, I would love for you to subscribe, hit that alert button so you get notified of all the cool videos I put out, and like it, share it with your friends, talk it up, recap it, explain my methodologies to people. I'm really, really honored that you are here on our channel and that you are now a subscriber. So let's keep going. So how do we feel the fear and do it anyway? The answer is something called emotional framing. Emotional framing is reframing is a term that psychologists use, and the concept behind it is that fear and excitement have the same physiological responses in our body. Think about what happens when two people are on a roller coaster. One person might be terrified, one person might be excited, but they both have clammy hands, they both have butterflies in their stomach, both have their heart racing. All of the symptoms and all of the signs, physiological signs, are the same for fear and excitement. So here's how this works. If you tell yourself something, your brain actually starts to believe it. So next time you are in that situation, you are on the precipice of doing that scary thing, all you need to do is feel the fear and do it anyway, do it anyway. That do it anyway is so difficult. And the reason it's so difficult is because all of those physiological symptoms in your body, like sweating, clammy hands, butterflies, heart racing, all of those signs are screaming at you to not do this thing. If you can tell yourself that those feelings are just your body's way of preparing to do this really difficult thing. It's your body getting you ready so that you can be successful. And if you can tell yourself that instead of, oh, I'm feeling these really horrible things, that means I should stop, that means I shouldn't do it, that means I felt the fear and I'm not going to do it anyways, I'm going to run the other direction, I'm going to push it down, I'm going to justify why I don't have to do it now, I'm going to put it off. If you can feel those feelings and then tell yourself, no, this isn't bad, this is good, this is my body preparing to do that difficult thing, your brain will actually believe it. It's crazy, but that is the truth of it. That is how this technique works. So, this requires you to acknowledge those feelings in your body that you get when you are in a terrifying situation. And instead of thinking of them as bad and then pushing them away or running away, whatever you usually do when you feel those things and then you back out, instead you're going to acknowledge those feelings and say, great, I'm glad they're here because this is my body's way of preparing. Because now my heart is beating faster, I have got energy, I'm focused, I'm alert, I can think on the, I can turn on the, what is the saying? You're flexible, I don't remember what the saying is, but basically the idea is that you are so alert that you can react very quickly to things that come up. These are all benefits of our body getting in that physiological aroused state. So simply telling yourself that these symptoms and these signs and your body changing and transforming into this aroused state is actually not a bad thing. It's a great thing. That is how you do it. That is how you get yourself to actually show up and do the thing. You get yourself to show up, not give up, and you stay in the game because you know that this is what you need to do to grow. So, Wonderful. If you've watched the three-part series or the 2 videos in my 3-part series, you know now that how to get yourself to sign up or register or raise your hand for, yes, I'd like to do this thing that is going to help me grow. And you know now how to get yourself to that thing. But what if you got yourself to the thing and then it was way more difficult or worse than you thought, or you failed, or you got rejected? What now? How do you not give up? How do you stay the course even when those things happen? I'm glad you asked. That is what I will talk about in my next video when I uncover a surefire technique, not a secret, technique to help you with the stick-to-itness, with the tenacity to stay in the game, to stay on the path to accomplishing your goals. And if you want to deep dive into the secrets to unstoppable confidence, check out my other videos in the playlist. And now, if you like this video, make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and then watch my next video. I will see you on the flip side in another video from the Fia Speaks series.